Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hiba Samad. It's Tuesday, February 18th. Thanks so much for joining us. Here are your top stories. According to a new report, the city of Torrance is ranked one of the safest in the state. The National Council for Home Safety and Security released its 2020 Safest Cities Report, an annual study that examined crime data from the FBI's Uniform Crime Reporting Tool, law enforcement agencies, and internal data from the security sector to provide statewide rankings of city safety. In overall safety for the state, the city of Torrance took the 42nd spot. Officials say California is in the lower half of states in terms of safety while looking at statewide crime rates. California's violent crime rate of 4.47 is 21% higher than the national average, along with property crime rate. Cities that fail to submit a complete crime report to the FBI and cities with populations under 10,000 were left out of the report, leaving 3,381 cities for study. To check out the report, head to alarms.org. The largest Japanese grocery chain in the nation is celebrating its big move. Mitsuwa Corporation will have a celebration on Friday, February 28th at their new location at the Amo Fashion Center on Carson Street, where they recently moved to. There'll be an authentic Japanese ceremony at 9:30 a.m. with taiko drummers, and doors will open to the public at 10 a.m. The Mitsuwa Marketplace that once was on Western Avenue closed its store and now has a larger space at Del Amo. They already had their soft opening and are selling limited items at the moment, including Japanese sauces, rice, beer, sake, meats, sushi, and dry goods for purchase. There is a deli that offers pre-made sushi and sashimi plates. On opening day, they'll be offering specials such as the first 100 customers in line will receive a $10 gift certificate for their party, and all Mitsuwa Marketplace shoppers will enjoy special grand opening savings on popular items. Mitsuwa Marketplace is home to many Japanese goods, including food vendors, cosmetics, fresh meat, and much more. The food court from the old location will also be moved to this one. Mitsuwa runs 11 stores across the country. The Torrance Police Department, with a little help from their K-9 partners, thank their local businesses. They recently distributed these paw-printed stickers as a thank you to them for allowing the department to use their facilities for training. They thanked Van Lingen, Saris Regis Group, Torrance Refining Company, Sunflower Farms, and Ganal Lumber. Officials say finding new environments to expose their newest K-9 members is a constant challenge. They're always looking for empty warehouses, construction sites, businesses, or properties scheduled for demolition, and vacant single-family residences with backyards. If you have a property Torrance Police can use, send them a direct message on Facebook. Now, if you're a coffee lover, you can experience it in a unique way. The Amo Fashion Center is now home to the interactive Coffee World exhibit. It's described as a spontaneous, whimsical world of caffeinated wonder, bringing to life captivating creative spaces for an absolute immersive experience. There are 10 interactive installations. COO Tran No of Torrance-based Coffee World says it's a place for people to learn more about coffee, the process from farm to cup. The interactive pop-up is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. All tickets must be purchased in advance at coffeeworld.co. The installations are located across from the Outback Steakhouse at the Outdoor Village. You can get the latest update from air quality officials on the Torrance Air Project tomorrow. The South Coast Air Quality Management District will host a meeting at 6 p.m. at the Toyota Meeting Hall. Officials will provide an update on the Torrance Air Quality Monitoring Project, information on South Coast AQMD's investigation related to the Torrance Air Project, and benzene readings. There will also be an opportunity for residents to ask questions. Other attendees will be representatives from the Sonoma Technologies, Inc. The Torrance Air Quality Monitoring Project is recording local air quality using a fence line air monitoring system at the Torrance refinery and multiple other stations located in the nearby communities. The data is available for the community to see at torranceair.org. If you would like to learn more information, head to aqmd.gov/torranceair. A new art exhibit was unveiled at El Camino College today. The art gallery opened its latest exhibit called What Is It About Trees? It focuses on the weighty nature of trees, objects of beauty, philosophical symbols, and essentials to life. 41 works from artists about trees is displayed with a broad range of media, including photography, drawing, sculpture, painting, printmaking, digital media, collage, and jewelry. There's also a mixed media installation performance video as part of the exhibit. Admission is free. The gallery is located on campus from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mondays and Tuesdays. Then it's open from noon to 7:30 Wednesdays and Thursdays. A local business headquartered in Torrance receives a large monetary award for its efforts in decreasing carbon footprints in our community. Londi Renzo USA, the American subsidiary of Londi Renzo Group, the global leader in eco-fuel systems for the automotive industry, received $600,000 from the South Coast Air Quality Management District's Clean Fuel Funds and another $300,000 in funding from the Southern California Gas Company to introduce near-zero natural gas heavy-duty engines. It will modify the current engine with a California Air Resources Board and Environmental Protection Agency certified engine for commercial car applications. The Ford-based engine will offer fleets a near-zero natural gas engine that is packaged for shuttle buses, tow trucks, service body trucks, and others. On top of operation on compressed natural gas, it will also be able to use renewable natural gas that provides a 70% reduction in greenhouse gases compared to gasoline or diesel. Londi Renzo USA is the only approved Ford qualified vehicle modifier developer and installer for the California Air Resources Board. This week, you can check out whether you're at risk for a stroke. The Torrance South Bay YMCA is hosting a free non-invasive stroke screening tomorrow from 9:30 a.m. to noon. You can stop by to get one by Memorial Care Medical Group. However, attendees must be 50 years of age or older. Space is limited and reservations are required. Officials say carotid artery disease develops silently without causing pain, discomfort, or any other symptoms and increases your risk of stroke. Strokes are caused by blockages in the carotid arteries in the neck that carry blood to the brain. For reservations, call 310-602-4910. Now let's get to the weather. Today was partly cloudy with a high of 66 and a low of 54 degrees. Then tomorrow there's a high of 64 with a low of 52. Then on Thursday it'll be sunnier with a high of 68 and an expected low of 52 once again. In honor of National Donor Day, Torrance City Cable reporter Claudia Brumedes sat down with a Torrance resident who's very grateful for the gift of life.
On an evening in February of 1986, Tammy Rusnick had no idea her life was about to completely change.
I gradually started not feeling well, and then finally one day I just didn't think I was going to live, and I went to the doctor the next day. I didn't think I would live through the night that night, and I went to the doctor the next day. And the doctor sent me to the hospital, and things just started happening.
As a college student, she was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease. Her kidneys were failing.
I met my transplant surgeon at that time and was told that I needed a kidney transplant.
By that summer, Rusnick and her donor were in the operating room.
Fortunately, my sister stepped up immediately and said that she would donate her kidney to me.
34 years later, Rusnick is healthy and thriving, thanks to her sister. But not everyone is so lucky.
There's 113,000 people on the national transplant waiting list, so there's a lot of people out there waiting.
Since her transplant, Rusnick is dedicated to bringing awareness of organ donation and this gift of life to her community in Torrance. She's partnered with the nonprofit One Legacy, the largest organization to help facilitate organ, eye, and tissue recovery.
We also go out into the hospitals. We go to different tabling events. If somebody wants to have us there to educate the community, we're happy to be there and give them information. And we can even register people on the spot. We have an app, a secure app that we can register people right there if they decide they want to.
One Legacy also works with many of our local hospitals.
In 2019, 20 lives were saved here at Little Company of Mary in Torrance by organ donors.
The sad part is that obviously we're losing one person's life, but we're giving life to potentially a few people. And I think that brings patients and their families peace.
a gift of life that so many people desperately need.
Around 8,000 people die a year because they don't get the organ that they need.
A statistic Rusnick is determined to change.
So I'm actually the ambassador to the Torrance DMV. So I make visits there on a quarterly basis to bring them the latest information about organ donation. They do play an important role in the state of California and people registering to be organ donors.
A role that reminds people that life is fragile and unpredictable.
I am a registered organ donor, and I hope that if the circumstances allow, that I would be able to save someone's life, save many people's lives or enhance lives in my passing.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Claudia Bermudez.
Thanks, Claudia. Anyone who wants to get involved in organ donations can do so by logging on to onelegacy.org. Local breweries will be celebrating St. Patrick's Day with others from across the state very soon. Tickets are now on sale for the 3rd annual Now But Stout Festival that will take place on March 14th in Torrance at Yorkshire Square Brewery. The event is in partnership with Los Angeles County Brewers Guild and will showcase skillfully crafted dark beer from more than 30 breweries in California. Tickets will include unlimited pours from 1 to 5 p.m. and a commemorative glass. Torrance breweries that will be in attendance include Hop St. Brewing Company, Smog City Brewing, Yorkshire Square Brewery, and there will be a special food menu by Snap Tin Eatery. Tickets are on sale at Eventbrite and general admission is $45. Now, here are some upcoming events this week you won't want to miss. This Saturday and Sunday, you can watch a play called Blues in My Coffee by Ted Lynch. It's a romantic comedy where 2 black men order their favorite coffee from Starbucks when 2 women of their dreams walk in. The performances will take place at the Ken Miller Recreation Center at the Torrance Cultural Arts Center. The show on Saturday takes place at 7:30 p.m. and on Sunday at 2 p.m. General admission is $30. Then this Sunday, the Southern California Etsy Guild Market is coming back to the Amo Fashion Center from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. There will be local designers, handmade vendors, and live art. Well, in just 2 minutes, cardiologist Dr. Jashdeep Dhoot from Providence Company of Mary Medical Center will share with us all the information you need to know about American Heart Month.
What to expect when you're expecting. A teenager.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to teen-proof your home. First step, hide the car keys, preferably somewhere they would never look. Did that go okay? You have to provide an outlet for their creative expression. So good. Challenges will come up. Be ready for them. Hi, honey. I'm ready for the...
Mom, you don't use mannequins in the mannequin challenge.
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down.
Doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
Oh, gee.
You all right, girl? You cool?
Bug and dog.
Just show you're there for them.
Go on, Kelly. Susie Awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back to the second half of NewsBreak Live. Joining us tonight is Dr. Jashdeep Dhoot, who's a cardiologist at Providence Company of Mary Medical Center in Torrance. Welcome to NewsBreak Live.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And February marks a very important month, the 56th consecutive American Heart Month. So tell me the importance of it as a cardiologist.
Well, American Heart Month is a federally designated month that is designed to highlight heart disease or heart health. The month is designed to bring awareness to cardiovascular disease and its burden on our communities. And the emphasis is on raising fundraising for cardiac research and public advocacy campaigns, and really making people aware of things that they can do to help improve their heart health overall.
So what can people do? What tips and suggestions do you have that people can maintain a healthy heart throughout the year, not just during this month, but throughout the year?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of cardiovascular disease is determined by genetics, but there are quite a few modifiable risk factors that you can address to help reduce your chance of a cardiovascular event. It all starts with a healthy lifestyle, so diet and exercise is important. When it comes to exercise, I usually recommend to patients that they try to do a moderate amount of aerobic exercise most days of the week. When it comes to diet, I usually recommend that they have a calorie intake that is appropriate for the amount of exercise that they do. We can help them determine that. But also focus on a diet that's low in sodium, low in saturated fats, and trans fats.
Is heart disease genetic, or even if it's not genetic, can people still get it?
There is a big component that's genetic, especially when it comes to coronary artery disease. And so family history definitely plays a role. But there's quite a few other modifiable risk factors, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, obesity, high cholesterol, obstructive sleep apnea. These are all diagnoses that we can treat with appropriate follow-up, and it can help reduce the chance of a heart issue down the road.
As a cardiologist, what are some heart illnesses you've seen an increase in here in the South Bay, or would you say through your research across the country?
Yeah. As a cardiologist, I haven't noticed any change in the distribution of various cardiac diagnoses. Coronary artery disease, or blockages in the arteries around the heart, is still the main diagnosis that we come across on a daily basis, followed by congestive heart failure and cardiac arrhythmias. A trend that I have noticed, though, as a cardiologist, is the rise of wearable technology. So, for example, I've had a few patients who have bought new smartwatches.
Okay.
These watches have the ability to detect your heart rhythm and your heart rate, and we've caught a few arrhythmias that otherwise would have gone unnoticed, and it's changed the patient's management. So I'm really excited about this technology and seeing how it can play a role in our cardiac care in the future, and wanted to see it validated as a way to help make some of these diagnoses.
With many of the heart concerns you just mentioned, they are preventable, including heart disease. So talk to me about how people can take those steps besides the ones that you just mentioned, because sometimes are there symptoms, not just for heart disease, but for blocked arteries, for example?
Mm-hmm. The symptoms can be vague, so oftentimes it requires some professional expertise to help you kind of sort through them. But symptoms for heart disease can generally involve shortness of breath, chest pain, heart palpitations, swelling of the ankles, but multiple different medical issues can cause these same symptoms. So it oftentimes requires testing, and so it's important to follow up with a physician.
The American Heart Association says heart disease is the #1 killer of Americans, men, women. What can you say about that? What routine checkups, whether you're a youth or you're an adult, you can take to make sure you're healthy all year round? Yeah,
so unfortunately heart disease is the leading cause of death in America, and it's important that every adult, whether they're healthy, otherwise, follow up with their primary care physician on a yearly basis, so they can be screened for risk factors that can contribute to cardiovascular disease and things that can be addressed. So they should be screened for cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure at these visits, and that can be very helpful in preventing heart disease down the road.
When it comes to a certain age for checkups, specifically for the heart, is there a certain age you would say that people should start going to maybe a specialist?
Mm-hmm. Well, the guidelines recommend as soon as a person reaches age 18 that they at least get their cholesterol checked one time at that point. Generally, as patients progress past age 40, we start to do more regular cholesterol checks. But generally, most healthy adults should be seeing a doctor for a wellness visit once a year to be screened for these risk factors for cardiovascular disease.
So talk to me about the state-of-the-art care offered at Providence Medical Institute South Bay Heart and Vascular Center. You guys have experts with diverse experience like yourself. So tell me a little bit about what's offered.
Sure. So Providence Medical Institute is affiliated with my medical group, which is Providence Medical Associates, which is a large multi-specialty group in the area. And within that group, we have 7 cardiologists that comprise the cardiac division. And we provide the full spectrum of cardiovascular care. So that includes coronary interventions for patients who have blockages in the coronary arteries. That involves a prevention program. That involves treatment of cardiac arrhythmias, such as implantation of pacemakers and defibrillators, and even treatment of structural heart disease with the implantation of transcatheter valves. And so there is really nothing that in regular day-to-day cardiac care that we cannot provide as our group.
When it comes to people maintaining a healthy heart rate, I know you talked about working out as a big, important aspect of people, avoiding these types of diseases. What would you say? How can people maintain a healthy heart rate? How can February be the month that people take those steps to start living a healthier lifestyle?
Well, I think what you mean, Hiba, when you mention healthy heart rate, is a healthy heart rhythm. And it turns out that a lot of the same risk factors that predispose patients to coronary artery disease or blockage in the arteries in the heart also predispose patients to heart arrhythmias. So that includes diabetes, being obese, hypertension. These are all things that can contribute to your likelihood of developing an arrhythmia. So leading a healthy lifestyle and addressing these risk factors can actually help to improve the odds that you don't develop an arrhythmia down the road.
And Providence does have a special partnership with USC, and I think this goes back to how diverse all the doctors are at Providence. So tell me a little bit about that partnership.
Yeah, well, the cardiologists affiliated with Providence Medical Institute have a collaboration with the cardiothoracic surgeons or the heart surgeons from Keck USC School of Medicine to develop a cardiovascular center of excellence here at Little Company of Mary. And the goal is to work in a collaborative environment to provide high-quality care here in the South Bay with an academic affiliation so that we have access to resources that we otherwise wouldn't have. I've been really excited about the collaboration. It's worked really well, and I'm hopeful that we can continue this for many years to come.
And just to go back and talk about American Heart Month, you did mention technology as a big part of how people are kind of gauging their health, and you see that more and more with Apple Watches and everything. Are there any resources out there that you would suggest, besides going to Providence's website, that you can tell people about?
When it comes to technology, well, the American Heart Association has a website that can help with tips on overall heart health, and that's probably where I would recommend starting, and then visiting with your primary care physician so you can then again, start to develop that healthy lifestyle down the road. When it comes to the technologies like smart watches, the technology still has to be validated. So even though we've had some success stories, we need to look into long-term, are the diagnoses correct? And so it requires some research before we get to that point.
Anything else you'd like to add about American Heart Month?
I think that just the important thing is, again, really take a moment during this month to look upon your own cardiovascular risk factors and then follow up with your primary care physician to address those risk factors now sooner than later.
And before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to add about the program, the screening that people can do online?
Well, Providence does provide some higher level screening programs for patients who are interested beyond or kind of getting more information about their risk factors beyond what's normally covered in a routine primary care physician visit, and they can find that on the website.
Well, Dr. Dhoot, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live, and on your screen we have some more information that you can go to california.providence.org/Torrance, and you can look up Healthy Heart Screening, and you can also check out Little Company of Mary on Facebook. If you have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. Also, if you missed any portion of the show, you can catch it all on Torrance City Cable's YouTube page. City Council has the night off. We'll see you next time.